I'm Matt, and this is Procrastination Garage.
It's just afternoon on Thursday. I've been out running errands. Had to take the dog to get a groom this morning, so we've done that. Anyway, stopped at Helms and bought some horticultural oil. I've got to mix up some spray for my cherry trees. We'll work on that today. So back at home, let me bring you guys up to speed. Over the last few days, I did manage to get the cherry trees pruned. So this is the other side of the yard. See, they're all done. In fact, I was out finishing those up there just as it was getting dark. So next step is to spray them. You can see these things are already getting close to blooming, and I really need to get them sprayed like ASAP. And it's windy. You can see how windy it is right now. Can't spray in the wind. So maybe tomorrow morning, if we can get the sprayer going. That's our next step. So we parked the sprayer in the garage last fall. So let's dig it out. Kind of looking like a junkyard down here, isn't it? Looks like I need to make a trip to the dump or something. There she is, tucked on the other side of the log splitter with a bunch of boxes and stuff in the way. So I guess I got to move some things to get it out. There, that wasn't so bad. We got it out. Now, what machine are we going to hook it to? I prefer to hook it to the Troy-Bilt, since it's wired up for it at the back. Has a switch on the dash, but this thing's running like crap. The Craftsman's been the go-to machine here lately. That would mean taking the bagger off. Not a huge deal, except I thought I might do some mowing today, but who knows. It is not wired for it. I could wire it, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Or we could hook it up to one of the ATVs. Now the red one's easiest to get at, but well, it's got a plug at the back. It doesn't have a switch, and that's the one that's got the broken hitch from last year. And then the yellow one, that's probably the better choice. It has a switch up front and has a hitch on the back that's working. Now the problem with the ATV is twofold. One, when it's hooked up to the ATV, the angle on the tank sprayer is the butt is down. I don't really like that. And then the other thing is that I don't like using the ATV with the tank sprayer, because that means spray gets on the ATV and then I've got to clean it. So, but I think for now we'll go ahead and do our testing just to see if the sprayer works. We'll go ahead and use the ATV. First step, let's hook the electrical up and see if we can get the pump to start. She's plugged in. Come over here, hit the switch. Yeah, baby, that's a good. Oh, and it's even pumping stuff. All right. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. All right, so we need to fill the container up with water and some spray mix. You know, just so I don't get fooled, let's go ahead and fill it up halfway with water before we put any of the oil in there to mix up. The wind, she is a-whistling. All right, I've got it about a third of the way full, maybe a quarter. That'll be a good test if the pump can draw on that. We'll see. Pump on. Oh yeah, look at that. You can hear it. She's working. Nice. Okay. Every year I pull the spray nozzle off and I clean it out. I think I did that last season. I took it off. So we'll go ahead. It screws on the end there, and we'll see what kind of pattern we can get out of it. All right, pump is running. Got the sprayer nozzle hooked up. Yeah, we got a bit of a leak right there. All right, that's a rubber seal. We'll have to work on that. I've got it tore apart. Can you focus on it? It's that rubber seal right there. Let me go see what I got down in the shop. Harbor Freight sells an assortment of O-rings and also rubber washers. And I've got one of each set. So we'll look through here. Hopefully we can find one that will fit. The one on the left is the one I pulled off. The one on the right is one that I found in my stash. Will it work? I don't know. It looks to be about the same size. All put back together with a new O-ring. Come over, turn on, and see what we got. Look at there. No leak. Good. Okay, let's fill up with spray. Look at that stuff. Kind of nasty. It's oily, which it's an oil spray. So I guess it's supposed to be. Anyway, it's supposed to be about 26.5 ounces, 26.25 ounces for 15 gallons. So we've got all the liquid in there. Now we'll top off with the water. It may take a while to get it up to 15 gallons because I think the stuff is going to bubble. But I'll show you when I'm done. She's full, 15 gallons, ready to spray. Now we'll just have to wait till morning and see if the winds are calm. Some other considerations here. At least 2 of these snowmobiles need to be moved because they're too close to that tree. And the green truck should be moved as well. So let me go ahead and get those out of the way. That's better, don't you think? Spray probably won't travel that far. I thought the pumpkin sled was going to go down there and visit the boat. Oh well. All right, we're ready for morning. I think I'm going to leave it behind the ATV and not worry about getting behind a mower. But let's play with a mower. Well, you probably can't tell. I spent some time out here, sucked some leaves up. I tried having the mower blades down in the normal position, kept clogging up, so then I had to lift the blades up. So I was sucking up leaves but not really mowing the grass. And I stuck at all these branches, and that was kind of the reason I was out here trying to get some mowing done, so it'd be easier to rake up those branches. So we'll probably work on that tomorrow depending on the weather. But I'm tired of this wind, I can tell you that right now. Excuse me. Yeah, you. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any friends, tell them about the channel too. Thanks. It's Friday morning around 7 a.m. and the winds are pretty calm. So now seems like a good time to spray. I won't say there's no wind at all. I can feel just the slightest breeze. I think we'll be okay. all the trees are sprayed, and I've got about 1/3 of a tank left. Now what I need to do is I need to run some clean soapy water through that pump to clean it out and all the line. The problem is, see, the old pump had a quick disconnect fittings on it. This one does not. So what am I going to do? What I'm thinking is, if I can get this line loose here, I might be able to force it up into the end of this and then put that into something. So I'm going to loosen that and try and do it, and I'll show you if it works or not. By golly, think I got it. Now I need to find a container. I filled this bucket up with 5 gallons of soapy water using some Dawn dish detergent, and we've gone through about 2.5 gallons, and I'd say we've cleaned it out. That's all soapy water there. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this, fill it up with clean water, and then run a couple gallons through it, and then we're going to call it good. 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's what it took to come out, spray, clean the equipment up, and get ready to put it away. No complaints. Let me tell you, this sprayer makes a huge difference. I remember back in the old days when I first started spraying, I was using like a 2-gallon hand pump sprayer. Had to fill it up a lot, lots of pumping. Then from there I migrated to a backpack sprayer that I had to pump manually. That held about 5 gallons. That was a lot of work. And then I borrowed Dad's sprayer here. And over the years he just gave it to me because, well, he didn't really have a use for it anymore, and I did. So been using it ever since. Replaced the pump, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. But otherwise, I love this thing. It's a couple hours later, and next thing on the agenda, let's take Mini Tow Beast. We need to go pick up that trailer, and then also I need to pick up rent at the other rental property. So let me get ready to do that. I'm going to need my air tank and an air compressor, and I think that's about it. I think everything else is in the car. Oh, and a license plate, so we look legal. Just picked up the trailer from the rental. Can you see it back there? Anyway, the good news is that neither tire was unseated from the bead at the wheel, and the right tire actually had enough air. I probably could have dragged it home. The left one was flat, but I had my air tank, so I filled it up, and then I put some more in the right one, and so everything is golden. Hooked the lights up, slapped the license plate on it. Let's get her home. And as a bonus, the trailer's empty, so I don't even have to empty it. Sadly, it's time for some manual labor. Got to do some raking, picking up. I'll show you later. The raking's all done. Now it's time to mow. It's just a day for mowing. See my neighbor? He's over there mowing. I'm just looking to get this side done today. We'll worry about the other side tomorrow. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. So about half the yard's done. We'll do the other half tomorrow. It's a new day, Saturday, a little after 11 a.m. Temperatures come up. So continuing our task from yesterday, we need to get all these branches raked up and taken down to the burn pile, and then we need to get everything mowed. So let's get to it. we're making great progress. We've got this area all raked up. Everything's loaded in the trailer there, and I've got all this area mowed, and also all down through there is all mowed. So what I've got left to do is this tree here and mowing that area, and that tree back there and mowing that area. And the reason I haven't done it is because I got snowmobiles parked in the way, and then I need to mow the strip of grass that the truck is parked in over there. So I think what I need to do now is deal with some snowmobiles. Kind of wanting to put it off, but I think I'm pretty much done with that trailer for the season, and I'm done with all 3 of these sleds. So what am I going to do? I don't know exactly. I'm going to put the orange sled in that trailer. I'm going to unload my daughter's and my sled out of there. Her sled is going in that trailer. That sled's going in that trailer. This sled needs to go back to the cabin when I get a chance. And then my sled, I think I'm just going to leave out on the yard or in the driveway for now, because I'm not committing to being done riding completely. So I'm going to do that, and I may show you some of it or all of it or none of it, who knows. I gotta say, that was way more work than I thought it was going to be. Part of the problem was I forgot all the junk that I had in this trailer that was in the way. I did decide to put my sled in this trailer. If I'm going to ride, I can get it out fairly easily. I'm hoping that this little tag-along won't be here much longer. A friend of mine's supposed to come pick it up, so that's good. That tag-along still has wood in it, which you may notice me struggling to unload it a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the wood out of there, put it in the back of this trailer, and drive up to the front of the house and unload the firewood in the firewood rack. This trailer is all loaded up. Got my pumpkin sled in here and the last 2 tag-alongs. So pretty much everything is out of the weather except for the little Yamaha Bravo, which needs to go to the cabin. So now we got to clean up the branches that are up here and then do the last of our mowing. So let me get that done. Everything is hauled down. There's my burn pile. We need to get that burned in the next couple of weeks. Let's make an effort. Looks pretty good, right? I still have some weed whacking and push mowing stuff to do. But otherwise, the yard is pretty much done for the first time this season. I'm happy. It's about 4:30 and I'm calling it quits on Saturday. It's 5:30 p.m. on Saturday still, and making a run to Home Depot. So I ordered something online and I downloaded their app, and what we're doing is we're trying a curbside pickup. Now, I'm usually not opposed to going inside Home Depot, but I kind of have this rule about going into Home Depot on weekends. too many people in there. So let's see if we can make this work. Not only did we make it to Home Depot, but I've picked up my order. And man, they were quick. I barely checked in and I thought I'd have a couple minutes to look at the local restaurant food menu, and man, the guy was right there with my order. But now let's get dinner. Assuming my wife is watching this, she knows where I went for dinner. But for the rest of you, this is it, taco time. You guys got one around you? Crisp meat burritos, one of my favorites. It's handy they're in the Home Depot parking lot. My wife and I used to come here quite a bit, and it's still one of my favorites. Anyway, let's head home. It's a beautiful Monday morning. April 1st is what it is. And would you believe it's 58 degrees out? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. 58 degrees. That's just crazy. So we're basically in spring/summer mode. So we got to go mow the rental today. First mow of the season. It's pretty nasty over there. That grass grows faster over there than it does over here. And we were needing it here. So what we've got to do is we've got to get rid of the Arctic Cat trailer and hook up the landscape trailer so we can get the mower loaded and so we can hit the road. So let's get that done. Ideally we'd be using the green truck today, but I haven't taken the time to look at the right front brake, see why it's dragging. And I'm not 100% sure that new starter I installed is any good either. It seems like it's hesitated a couple times when I've gone to start it, but one item at a time. We can use this truck with the camper on it, we just can't use it with the trailer on it. So like I said, we're going to dump it. And she's loose. So not my normal parking. What I want to do is actually turn both these trailers kind of sideways so they're both facing like that one is. But I want to get them backed up against this container. I'm not doing that right now. So that's the reason I parked that one that way instead of backing it back into this tight spot here. Frozen up locks, the story of my life. Not frozen due to the cold, but frozen due to corrosion and stuff being inside of it. I managed to get the one loose from the other end of the extension. That's a positive. But can I get this one loose? I may have to cut it off. I got lucky. Some WD-40 and a pair of pliers. I managed to get it open without breaking off the key. Good deal. That wasn't so bad getting the trailer connected. Of course, procrastination again has bit us in the butt because I never took the tire changing equipment off the trailer. So we have to do that before we load the lawnmower. No biggie. All loaded up and ready to go. That took about an hour. Things always take longer than you think they should. And there's my little helper dog coming along. Look at her just shivering in anticipation. Yeah. Yep, things are looking a little ragged around here. I think it's time to mow. Look at that. Thanks to the dog, we got her done. A lot better, 2 hours. Mowed, weed whacked, sprayed a little bit of Roundup until I ran out of spray. All right, let's go home. It's Sunday, noontime to be exact. So what do we have left to do outside? Well, I have a little bit of push mowing to do over there, down there around back. Probably the biggest pressing thing though is weed whacking. And at the end of last season, my weed whacker, it just wasn't running right. I couldn't hardly keep it running. In fact, at the end, it wasn't running at all. So my plan this season was to go buy a new weed whacker. So that's why we went to Home Depot yesterday. And I got to tell you, I spent twice as much on this weed whacker as I have on the past 2 weed whackers. But what did I get? DeWalt electric, 60 volt. Am I going to like it? I hope so. I don't own any DeWalt tools. I'm a Ryobi guy, but I wasn't really happy with the Ryobi string trimmers that I looked at. Reading some reviews, watching some YouTube videos, DeWalt came out pretty good. Although the DeWalt one I looked at online was actually a 18-20 volt version, not the 60 volt. So hopefully 60 volt will be better because it's bigger. I don't know. The reason I wanted to go with the 60 volt, I figure if I'm going to start buying some new tools, let's go higher voltage. And the 2 tools I'm interested in was a string trimmer and a chainsaw. And then also, this one is the one that's got the flex head thing, the power head, I guess what they call it. So you can install these other tools on there, edger, limmer, other things. So I spent an extra $30 to get that. Anyway, I pulled the battery out of the box last night, plugged it in. It looked to be fully charged, either that or it's defective. So we're going to go ahead and put this together and give her a try. All assembled, ready to try out. It has some string in it. I don't know how much. Hopefully the string I have somewhere will work in this one. If not, I guess I'll have to go buy some. I just soon do the mowing before I start playing with the weed whacker, so let me get that done. Let's just say I'm underwhelmed at this point. I basically weed whacked 5 trees, and then I came down one side of this railroad tie. Actually, I started at the bottom, came up, and I was in the process of coming down the other side when the battery died. I was using it mostly on the low setting. I did switch to the high setting when I was coming along here. That can't possibly be right. So maybe that battery wasn't fully charged, but when I put it on the charger last night, it showed a solid red light, and to me that light should be green, but it doesn't distinguish on the instructions, at least on top of the charger. It just shows a solid light as being fully charged, a flashing light as being charging. Anyway, when I put it on the charger now, it is flashing. I did notice that there's a battery indicator light on the battery, or a charge indicator light on the battery, and I don't know what it was at before. I will check it next time. I mean, I gotta think it just wasn't a charged battery. Usually they don't ship things with a charged battery, but why didn't it charge yesterday when I put it on there? I don't know. Anyway, I've got to go do some work for getting ready for irrigation water. It's going to be turned on this week. Close up my valves and stuff. So we'll come back to the weed whacking once the battery charges up. That's a wrap on this week's Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So my apologies. I really hope to be back to a weekly schedule by now. Unfortunately, I had some things that had just a little higher priority than Procrastination Garage. Things like taxes. I've been doing a lot of videoing. I have a lot of clips. I just haven't had time to piece them all together. So I did manage to piece this together for this week, and I think I have enough clips to piece together another one for next week.
So that shouldn't be a real struggle. And I'll even let the cat out of the bag a little bit. One more trip out on the snow and a first trip out in the side-by-side. So that's coming up. This week was pretty much all about getting the yard in order and or the rental yard in order. So remember, the number one goal of Procrastination Garage is to keep me motivated, to get me working out in the yard or in the shop or playing up in the hills. Tell me down in the comments what you're working on, or tell me about what you're procrastinating about. I like to hear about it. And with that, my name is Matt. This is Procrastination Garage, and we will see you next week. Yeah, it's going to be next week. Almost guarantee it. Thanks.